Meet Codename Goose, your on-machine open-source AI agent. Built to automate your tasks, Codename Goose is an intelligent and autonomous agent capable of handling complex tasks thanks to its core features. Connect with apps and tools you already use with extensions. Built on the Model Context Protocol, you can connect to extensions like GitHub, integrate JetBrains IDEs, access Google Drive, or build your own custom integrations for Goose. For a curated list of extensions, visit our docs. With a wide range of compatible large language model providers, you can choose and integrate your preferred model. You can also run Goose as a desktop app or through the command line interface using the same configurations across both. You can think of Goose as an assistant, ready to take your instructions and do the work for you. Able to handle a wide range of tasks across various engineering domains. Here are examples of tasks Goose has helped people with already. Goose has helped dive into a new project in an unfamiliar coding language, conduct code migrations such as Ember to React or Ruby to Kotlin, increase code coverage, and even generate unit tests for a feature, and much more. To get started using Goose right away, check out our quick start and be the first to know about upcoming features by joining our community.
Okay. Hello? Sorry. Let's see. My camera. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I did check backstage, and I don't know what happened just now. Alex and Spencer can definitely vouch for that. But if you're tuning in and you've never watched this before, this is the Great Goose Off. And Goose, if you're not familiar, is an AI agent. It is open source, it's local to your machine, and what makes it very unique is that it can extend its capabilities to MCP servers. That's Model Context Protocol. So we're gonna bring on people on the stage. I don't know what just happened with the little switch up, but that's all right. I'm gonna bring on Spencer and Alex, and y'all tell them I really did have us backstage making sure everything was all set, right?
It was perfect. It was perfect.
I don't know what happened, but
all good.
To also just get started, I wanna talk to y'all first off about the fact that you've actually both built Goose, right? So Alex, you're like an engineer on Goose, and Spencer, you're a designer on Goose. I'm curious if building an AI agent changed how you interact with LLMs and AI tools, or were you already like a big AI expert or fan and you were like, yeah, I already know all of this?
Go ahead. Go first, Spencer.
Don't be scared.
Yeah. I loved AI. I mean, just the idea that we have machines and now this cute little goose that's going to help us do stuff. I think that's amazing. And the opportunity to be able to build kind of Block's own rendition of what we think that the future of a lot of this technology is going to be, I think is incredible. So I'm sure Alex got way more technical knowledge about it, but I'm just focused on trying to make it pretty and fun to use. So
Nice.
No, yeah, for me, I mean, I just consider it like a new developer tool that's key to my workflow. Like I basically don't ever code without Goose anymore because I just don't. It doesn't. it's so powerful, and once you know how to use it, it enables you to be so much more productive. That to me, it's like I'm not in my traditional editor in the same way that I used to be at all. working on Goose and just knowing what it can do and how powerful it is. I just consider it required whenever I'm coding anymore. So it's always helping me out.
Awesome, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. All right, we had a couple of comments of just people. I'm just gonna highlight them just to say hi before we really get started. Angie was seated at 12:54, 6 minutes before we started. Max said he's at the edge. We've got people saying hello and cheering you all on. All right, y'all. The way I'm gonna do this, normally we vote via Slido, but since we have so many people in the comments, I will love to just vote off of the comments of people just seeing like people cheer. I think even before we start, since a lot of you all in the comments already know Alex and Spencer, it's no bad blood. Who do you think is just going to win overall? Like, who's your prediction? They're both friends. They work together. It's okay. Who do y'all think is going to win overall based on your interactions?
Won't take anything personally.
Yeah. And while people vote, Ian said Goose wins. That's right. It's Goose versus Goose. All right. So while people vote, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all your first prompt. So we're not waiting too long. I think this one is kind of a soft intro into it. I hope it is for you all. So I want you all to build a 404 page. However, you all know that there got to be a twist. It has to have endless scrolling and tell a visual story. Maybe it's like a haunted like narrative, a glitching UI, some kind of forgotten experiment. I don't know, like go crazy. And I'm going to give you all about 8 minutes for this. Are you ready?
All right.
Okay, hold on.
So
let me press the clock. And I think I'm going to go to Alex first.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
All right, let's do it. So I'm going to use the CLI mostly today because that's what I typically use in my workflow. Okay, so requirements. You said it's a 404 page, right?
Yeah, endless scrolling 404 page that tells a visual story.
All right, so I'm going to make a little plan first, and this is not a super scientific way to use Goose, but it's just a handy way to do it, and this is what I typically do. Endless 404 page, and you said it has to have some scroll effects, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Some neat features. Scroll effects, and you said like a theme of some kind, right?
Yeah, some kind of story.
Okay. To have a fun theme, I'm gonna say I'm gonna make it based on where I live. I live out in a small town in New England, so I'm gonna make it to look like a farm.
Okay, that's cute.
Some animals and a barn. Scroll effects. Make it really colorful. Am I missing any requirements? I don't think so, right? That's sort of the start.
No, don't check in with me. Go in with whatever you and Goose interpret it as. Even if it goes the other way, that's all right.
All right.
I mean, you can check in with me, but don't be nervous.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see what it starts with. So, yeah, this is my making a markdown file is just like what I usually do. I give it a little plan, and it's just an easy way to give the CLI some structured instructions, and that it's just a little easier to edit the text that way, and then we'll see what it does. So it's funny because I work on the Goose app, the GUI version of the app, this Goose, but in my everyday workflows, I typically go with the
CLI.
Yeah,
CLI. You just like using CLI?
I've always been more of a terminal centric developer. And so even though I work on the app, it's funny because I usually use the CLI. Just that's what I'm most used to.
While we're waiting, someone did note the nicknames. I forgot. I wanted to highlight that. When we had the little like hiccup at the beginning, I forgot. All right, y'all. I'm not even gonna call them Alex and Spencer. It's the Chief and the Wizard. All right, that's their nicknames. They said that's their nicknames from the beginning. So
Spencer made the nicknames right before we started, and the way I feel about nicknames is that you can't make one up for yourself. So
right.
Spencer chose mine, which I think is good.
Right. And I want to know from you too, like we don't see a lot of people do the plan markdown. I think you mentioned it a little bit, but why do you prefer to do like a plan before you run Goose?
I just find it's like a little easier to edit multi-line text and things like that.
Okay.
Just in a file. I find writing down all my thoughts that I have beforehand gives me an opportunity to give Goose let's see, I think we've got, yeah, so this is the little file that I wrote, right? It's just an easy way to enter multi-line text, collect my thoughts, and sometimes I'll take a couple attempts at something, right? Where I'll let it do this initial loop that it's on where it's going to build something for me. And then if it doesn't turn out how I want, I might go back and make changes to this and start over, or add something or add a new file. And I also find, I mean, this is just my workflow that's kind of outside of Goose, but I find that it's helpful for myself to have a history of the different like prompts that I've given it, just so I can go back if I'm making improvements and building further, I can go back and look at the first one to know what instructions it had, etc.
That's a good point. That's way easier. I'm gonna switch over to Spencer.
Oh
shoot, wait. I want to see this, but I want to switch over to Spencer.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's
there's
see
2
how
minutes
he's
left, and then we'll come back and see what you got. Spencer, what's going on?
I keep running into this 404 page, so I'm trying to get it off the ground a little bit. Oh, but we were supposed to have a 404 page, so I feel like it's working out. This is perfect. I've got a little bit of a space theme going. You know, we're flying through the cosmos, and if I keep scrolling down, it's just going to give me a bunch of 404s. It's just going to try a different text. Just in case the first 404 wasn't enough, it's going to keep telling you 404, right? So I like to repeat that so users will know eventually that it's a 404.
Right. If it didn't click, what prompt did you give it to get to this point?
I asked it. So first I gave Goose like a little bit of, I like to call this my, you know, my Born Ultimatum whisper prompt, where it unlocks Goose into a special ability. And so it got performance mode, and it's going through, it's making sure it's got everything it needs, it's setting a nice location. It's kind of more or less cleaning up a file, creating something cool. And then I just said we want to build a super cool 404 page with endless scroll. And as it's scrolling, it's going to show more 404s and use like a monotype to start and slowly change over time. And I think if I were to push this a little further, eventually it would maybe create an image or something like that cool. So yeah, we're cooking with gas here.
I love it. I love it. All right, y'all. We got 2 minutes left. Is there anything else you're gonna add to it? I don't know. Or you're like, this is good.
I kind of want to see Alex's farm simulator. That has me intrigued.
Okay, let's see it. You guys finished before I guess y'all finished before the 8 minutes I gave y'all. I might have to give y'all a harder task. All right, let's go to the group. Hopefully we have the right setup here. Awesome. Alex, let us see what it finally gave you. We gave you this farm type of look.
Yeah, it's got this this farm, this skeuomorphic kind of farm, and it has some scroll effects. The animals go off the screen. I have no idea why the trees are upside down.
Right?
I don't know what that says about Goose. I don't know that it chose to make the trees upside down, but they're upside down. But it does have, you know, a scroll effect. It's got a 404, and then it has a back to the farmhouse, taking you home. Welcome back to the farm. So that's like you're back in the real website, which is cool.
Okay. All right. I loved it. Y'all go ahead and vote for this first one. Who do you think which Goose was goosing best, the Farmville or the Space Invaders? We got one vote for Alex. I'll let people keep voting. While people vote, I want to know from y'all, what models do you tend to use with Goose, and which ones did you use today?
I was using Claude 4.
Claude
Sonnet.
4?
Yeah.
You too? Claude
Same
4?
on the set. Yeah, Claude 4.
Okay, you guys never switch to anything else that's like your bread and butter?
I found it to be pretty good for most things. I think the new versions of Claude, the Opus model is really good for things that are going to require like a longer, more thinking, right? When there's more context and it's more of a planning exercise as opposed to an execution, like just write me this code or make me this project. I think Sonnet is best for that. But
Awesome.
if it's more extended reasoning, then I'll go with Opus, but it's slower, obviously.
Okay, cool. And someone wanted to see both 404 pages again. I seen a couple votes for Alex, but they want to double check. So we got the Farmville one. Let me show y'all the wizard one. Show us the wizard. Awesome. Or the spaceship one, actually. That's what it was. It got all these 404s, y'all.
I'm sure you would not want to see a 404 error in space, but if you did, hopefully it's this one.
I'm sure I wouldn't want to be in space. That's just me.
Just in general.
Yeah. Oh, someone said the Gooselings of Galaxy gets my vote. I love that. Dropping a vote for Wizardy Spacey vibes. All right, all right. And someone also said Gemini 2.5 Pro was great the first week it was out. Okay, a little shade. But they're loving the Wizards Haunted 404 messages. All right, cool. Let's move to the next one. Are y'all ready? How did you feel about that one? Did it get the nerves out, or you were like, that was too easy result?
Oh
Bring
yeah,
it.
I'm ready.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, cool. Now I want you guys, this is going to be like a part 2. So I'm going to do part 1. And I think you guys are fast. So I'm going to give you 6 minutes. Because the last one, you guys didn't need that much time. All right. I want you to build an endless runner game. Focus on like giving some hazards, right? Like maybe like falling crates, glitchy walls, raised spikes. Let me know if you need clarification on like what an endless runner game is.
Can you get, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you guys already started. Hold on, I pressed the start now. Okay,
False start.
I'll go to Spencer first since he's already typing. Tell us what you're typing, and if you could, I feel like you should zoom in just a little bit more. I know you like Command Plus. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So again, I gave it kind of my little bit of a pre-prompt just so it knows what it's got going on. I'm saying we're going to make an endless runner game. I think we're going to use Python only because I think we'll get good performance out of that. Maybe it should be the main character is a developer running through San Francisco collecting coffees and avoiding, what should we be avoiding, Rizal? I'm going to toss it over to you. What should we be avoiding?
Oh, I don't know. Like,
what would a developer try to avoid?
Oh, what would I try to? Bugs?
Bugs, okay.
Bugs falling from the sky?
And I like to keep it kind of simple on the initial prompt. I don't often like to give too many instructions, especially if it's something kind of simple on this one. I think it'll get it on the first jump. I like David Amberson said, a project manager. Oof, spicy. That's a spicy comment.
Oh, that is spicy. Oh, well, some people need a project manager.
Absolutely.
I know I do.
Absolutely. Oh, David is a project manager. Okay. Avoiding Jira tickets. I like that one. We'll add that one too. So once I get the kind of initial version into a good place, then I think I'm going to add some Jira tickets we're trying to avoid. We're going to maybe have them also collect maybe Cliff Bars as well. I always see developers eating Cliff Bars. What else do you think? What else do you think, Rizal? We good so far? We good? I wonder if Alex has got anything. He's probably got something way better.
Let me see. No. Well, I mean, not no, but maybe maybe Ethan. Let's go see. People said energy drink, C-suite ticket, C-suite execs. Let's go see what Alex is building. I think this is off to a good start though. Yeah. Alex, what's going on?
Yeah, I just put in some of my requirements. I said we're gonna make a game. Character will be an endless runner in the game. Make it a track and field runner on an Olympic track, and there should be some hazards like falling walls, boulders, etc.
Okay.
And like Spencer, I know that the models are good at using Python and particularly this Pygame library to make games. So I just told it outright to use Pygame because I've seen it have good results with that.
Okay. I feel like y'all are bold. I every time I use Goose, I avoid Python, but that could be because of my lack of Python knowledge.
Yeah, no, we'll see. Maybe famous last words, right? Like it's trying to do virtual env and it's trying to install Python and everything. Okay, cool. All right, so now it's actually working on the game. And with any luck, okay, cool.
Oh, shoot, it's
So we
here.
got something going. It's like some hurdles, some boulders.
And it's like on it looks like kind of like a racetrack, like type of thing.
Yeah, like a track. Yeah.
That's cool. Let me see how far Spencer's gotten. In the meantime, you got 2 minutes and 21 seconds to keep adding more. Let's see
Okay,
what
cool.
Spencer.
All right, let's.
Hello. Oh, you're muted. I'll unmute you.
Sorry, I was on mute. That is
Yeah.
very, very typical of me.
You're
This
focused.
is the first time we're going to run the new hit. So watch out, Ubisoft. You know, everyone wanted GTA 6 first.
True.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. It got. Sorry about
That was
that.
pretty close.
I love the buildings.
Yeah, the buildings are giving me a little bit of
Oh, you hate
motion sickness, but it's a little shaky.
I thought it was cool that they did like flickering lights.
Oh,
Coffee collected, distance traveled. I like the little end screen too. Angie said, "Wow, it's insane that you can make something like this in 3 minutes. Like this is crazy." All right, I'm gonna bring y'all back. Y'all both finish math fast. So I don't know if you're ready, Alex. I see you typing, and you're like, "Girl, I wasn't ready for this." I'm gonna just bring y'all back. Go ahead, folks. Start voting. Alex, did you add more within this time?
I did add more, but it's working on it now. So
Okay.
It'll be a minute or two.
Okay. While we're waiting, let me see what we could talk about, folks. All right. So, Spencer, do you ever use the terminal for Goose, or you're mostly a UI person? For me, I'm mostly UI. I just think visually. I like to see it better that way.
Yeah, mostly UI. I think there's certain moments where Goose will try to install something that I know it's going to have an issue with, and I'll just like quickly open terminal, install it. I think especially for block employees, we've got problems with npm install and stuff like that. So there are certain moments where I'll open up terminal. Maybe I'm looking at debug logs or something like that. But for the most part, Goose has everything it needs to create great stuff. Doesn't need a lot of terminal usage, and I know I mostly just use the UI. So
Okay, same. That makes sense. All right, Alice, are you ready? Because the time's up anyways.
Yeah, I mean, if the time's up, the time's up. I'll just have to go with my first version. But
okay, can you show people again what your first?
Yeah, I can run it again. Sure.
Yeah. And go ahead and start voting, folks. Did you like the developer? Should I call you guys the developer endless runner or the traditional endless runner? I don't know what to call it.
Endless runner. This is just the env.
This is every developer's nightmare. Us all watching Alex navigate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to try to remember. Remember how I ran it.
Jog your memory.
I was working on a V2 and then I killed the first one. So
oh no, jog y'all's memory and try to remember how it looked and go ahead and vote for Alex or Spencer's version. Okay, now Alex, you might want to get that running eventually because I'm gonna ask you all to add something to this game, right? Okay. Timothy, we got some votes too. Someone said Spencer, they want to see y'all's games after the stream, so don't ruin the projects all the way. You might want to upload them to GitHub pages or something. Someone says Spencer again. Spencer.
Good.
Spencer, I think you might have won this round. All right. So listen carefully. What we're gonna do is our little plot twist. The user can no longer control the runner. The user now has to control the environment. So like that's toggling the whatever obstacles that you all had, like maybe throwing the bugs at the runner, or whatever like hurdles you all had, shifting gravity. Does that make sense? Do you all need?
It does.
Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna start with Spencer so I can give Alex some time to get his game back.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's go, Spencer.
Okay. So I closed all my Goose chats because I'm a little, wasn't thinking ahead. So I'm just going to tell Goose where I'm working.
Okay.
And so I'm going to remove that CD.
It's okay. You didn't know I was going to do a plot twist on you.
I know. I never see it coming. We want the user to control the bugs with, how should we come with clicking on the screen and the computer will control the developer. The objective is to send a bug to stop the developer. So what I'm hopefully trying to do is reframe it to the LLM just to say, like, now the objective's changed. The objective of this game is an infinite runner, but now I want to throw bugs at the runner, and my job as the user is to stop the developer. Because we all know that's how development works, right? There is some omnipresent entity in the sky, and it's just throwing bugs at us, trying to ruin our work.
Right.
So now Goose is just going to go through and I think review all of those different, what we had made originally, and I hopefully rework it in a way that's going to fit the prompt. We'll see what happens. So we'll let it kind of do its thing and go from there.
Awesome. I think that's a good approach. Someone was laughing and said, wow, I usually send the bugs to myself. I have a question. Oh, it's something spun up. But we had someone point out something. That said no safe chats in Goose yet. There is. So I was curious why you don't have to, but why you didn't go through the session history and then just resume it from there.
Yeah, I probably could have. I think it was just faster for me to just point it in the right direction and kind of see what happens. We'll see.
Okay.
Just trying to save those tokens, Rizzo. I'm trying to keep my token count low,
I mean, that's a good point. Keep your sessions short so you can have your context window to be small too. Wait, so did it make something? Let us see it.
No, I was playing. You
were just in the old version.
I was buying time, right? I was just waiting for Goose to finish up. So I'll play some games, look at the high score.
Okay, let me see what Alex got. I see he got something on his screen. So we're coming over, Alex.
Yep. So I kept my original theme of it being on a track.
Yeah.
And now it looks a little bit more like a running track. It's red and it has yellow lines, right? And instead of me controlling the runner, I'm now clicking to place obstacles.
Oh, that's how you're doing it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's random. They're just random obstacles.
Yeah, it looks like I get something different every time. I can put like these little walls, or I can put these triangles, or whatever. So
that was smart.
Yeah, and I actually just completely started over. So I just had it make a totally new game based on a slightly different plan with an instruction at the end that says make it so the user doesn't control the runner. The user throws the obstacles. So.
Okay, tell us why you decided to just start from scratch instead of continuing.
Yeah, I think this is like a bit of a mindset shift with coding with these tools, right? Is like it's usually so easy and so quick for it to just redo things, start a new version of a project, start a new branch of a code base. It's so fast to make progress now. So rather than mess with any of the code that I did from the first step, I just started a new plan with different requirements, and I had it just do everything again because it was so fast.
Okay.
So yeah,
That was
sort of
smart.
like, it feels a little bit like code is free these days.
Yeah, that was smart. That was smart. All right, let me check in with Spencer and see if we all want to just come back together or if we need more time. Let's see, because there's still more time on the clock. How is it going?
We're doing good so far.
Okay.
We've got the developer. He's doing his own thing. I'm not controlling anything. He's going to collect coffee cups, jump over bugs. The area now is I can click and look, the little bug shows up. Oh, goes away. Boom. So I'm just trying to get now that click event to be actually where I clicked, because as you can see, I can click way up here, it goes there. In the middle, it goes there. But if I click right behind him, then it'll hit him. So a little bit of fine tuning, little rounded edges, but got a couple minutes. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you have like 2 minutes right now, so you got a good amount. Oh, actually, whoa, 1 minute and 50 seconds. But that's fine. That's fine. All right. Let me see what the comments are saying. Timothy said very efficient play style. Troy said super creative, Chief. So if Alex, you could hear us, you got you getting some praises. Ian said, I'm going to use all bugs from the users, not me or my code, as the excuse from now on. Awesome. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go back to Alex in those last couple minutes.
Yeah. I have it working, right? But I'm just trying to add some more to it right now.
Yeah.
So this is the game I have where you can click and put stuff in the way of the runner. But I'm trying to add, I thought it would be cool if there were people in the stands, since this is supposed to be a stadium.
That's so cute.
So I'm going to try to see if I can get spectators pictured in the stands. So
that is so cute. I love that. You have a bit of way. Okay, so I try out all of these before I get on, and y'all strategize way better than me, because I wasn't going to like do it with clicking to put the obstacles. I had like use my keyboard, and it was actually so annoying not working. So it was a way better strategy.
Well, the funny thing that comes out of coding this way is like sometimes the model just makes decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't tell it that much about how to do the controls. I just said make it so the user doesn't control the runner, the user throws the obstacles, and it just decided that clicking would be a natural way to do that, right? So it's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes it's kind of fun to see. Oh, it looks like I might have. Oh, look at that!
You got your stadium, and just in time, the timer just rang. I'm gonna bring
stadium is full.
That's so cute.
There we go.
I love it. Okay, and that goes to show, since y'all are both using Claude 4 and it used the clicking event, I use Claude 3.5. I should have used Claude 4. That's Troy said now you're just showing off. All right. So we got yours. Spencer, the wizard. Are you ready to show what you got, or is Goose still thinking?
Goose is still going.
Oh man.
That's okay. I think we're getting close. I feel it.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll top the crowd animations that Alex has there.
And I like how it really looks like everything's moving. Like, this is cool.
It's at the sidewalk. So.
Yeah. Oh my God. Goose isn't very good at playing this. I know, right? All right. Let's see what other people are saying. Moving legs is a great ad. I know. I'm like actually really impressed with what Claude 4 is able to do. Maybe next time too, I'll use Python, because I was like use JavaScript and I use Claude 3.5. This is cool. All right, Spencer, I might. Let's see where Goose is at. It's still thinking.
So I've got it now recording the click event.
Okay.
And now it'll show up, but now they just stay there. So I can create an incredibly pretty picture of a developer in San Francisco with a bunch of bugs. But as you can see, they're not going. They're not attacking. So I might have to code in a little bit of an attack paradigm for them. So
okay. But maybe for a different round because we got to move on. But that was pretty good. That's so annoying that it won't attack it. It's thinking they're friendly bugs. So people already started voting. They said the track and field is nostalgic. Voting for Alex. Voting for Alex. It's a drawing sticker app and an infinite runner underneath. I know, right? This is cool. This is cool. But they love the scary storytelling to Spencer's as well. Me too. It's pretty scary as a developer. They might not be prod ready, but they're great at showing us proof of concept. Yeah, I love Goose for any type of like just imaginative stuff. That's why I like this live stream. I'm like, I just want to see like what we can imagine. All right, y'all. So this is the last challenge, I guess. And I hope it's not too hard. All right. So get ready for this. Maybe it's easy. I don't know. We'll see. I want to give you all a real challenge. I'll give you all 10 minutes for this one. So I was thinking that you guys could redesign Goose's chat or the CLI interface, whichever you wanted, but for a kid who wants to learn to like vibe code. Now you don't have to redesign every single thing. Like if you're like, oh my God, now I got to redesign the models and resetting the providers. Like maybe just like the chat interface or the CLI interface. And maybe I'll give you all 12 minutes because we're at 36 minutes right now. And you might need time to get like Goose running locally and all that. How are we feeling about this one? Don't start.
This is good.
Okay, this is good.
This is gonna be fun.
Okay, cool. I'm like, since y'all built Goose, why not see if you got the chance to rebuild Goose?
Sounds good. And what's the goal again? Like we're making it like a kids version version of Goose?
Version. Yeah. Kids
Okay.
Goose. All right, I'll give you guys 12 minutes. Yeah.
Start now?
Yeah, start now. Who should I go
Right.
to? I think I'm going to go to Alex because I feel like I always go to Spencer. I think so. You're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see what I'm up to. The first thing I'm gonna do is just get my Goose running, right? So just do like basic stuff in the Goose code base to get updates pulled in and everything so I can run the UI locally. It's been a couple days since I've done this, so I'm gonna pull in some updates.
No worries. No worries. How are you thinking?
Yeah, and I guess while I'm waiting for that, I'll start working on a plan. So to update the chat UI of this Electron app to be kid friendly, right?
Yeah, kid friendly.
We should use bright colors, a fun font, and big obvious controls. All right, and then I'm gonna need to poke around a little bit because I'm gonna need to find some file. I'm gonna point it to some files that I know are gonna be helpful. So this is like chat view. I think chat view is the main kind of yeah. This is like the big page that has the chat input and the area with the bubbles and everything like that. So I'm gonna give it this file. View is in, and I like to, when I give it files, I like to just give it absolute paths because then I know it's not going to have to look around at all. It's just going to read the file and saves a bit of time. So, all right, I maybe have a little bit of a waiting game just because I have to install the Rust dependencies. But before I can really start,
I realized I was on mute this whole time, but that's why I gave y'all 12 minutes.
I was on mute?
No, I was.
Okay.
Did you hear me or no?
No, I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was like talking back and forth with you. I'm like, wow,
I thought I was just talking into the void.
I was like, dang, he don't gotta answer any of the questions. Well, actually, I think some questions in our company Slack, some people are asking things they don't understand. They're not engineers, and they're like, can you explain the CLI? Like, what is it? Are you using Goose in a different way?
Hmm. Oh, can I explain the CLI?
Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
non-engineer that doesn't know what the CLI is.
yeah, for sure. So, like you have the Goose app, right, on your laptop that's installed as an application, and you can chat with it. And my computer is working really hard right now because it's
Yeah.
trying to install these Rust dependencies. But like this version of Goose, right? You can chat with Goose. It's a desktop application. It has a UI that comes up on your screen. The CLI, the command line version of Goose, is a command that you just run in a terminal. So you use a terminal application on the Mac, and you run a command, and it will pull up Goose. And right now, I just have an extension that failed to launch, so it's not launching Goose. But I can fix that and find. I'll just turn this off since I don't need it right now. And then if I run Goose, you can see it says Goose is running, enter your instructions, try asking what Goose can do. So it's just another way to do the same thing. It uses the same code under the hood. It's just a different way of interfacing with Goose.
Right. Yeah. And to add with that, it's kind of when people use the terminal, it's like another way of like interacting with your computer. So instead of like opening a folder by clicking, you can do it by typing. And a lot of engineers like to work this way because they're already writing code within their terminal. So we've created a CLI, or we initially created a CLI version because we wanted it to be for developers. And then we made a non-CLI version for developers and non-developers. Okay, I want to go over to Spencer.
Switch to Spencer, yeah, because mine's still waiting.
Yeah, maybe his might be too. We don't know. All right. Hey, Spencer.
Hey, yeah. Definitely no further than Alex, but still kind of doing the same thing. So just building the clone from main. So I just asked Goose, hey, here's a link to the block Goose file. Can you clone this? Bring it down on desktop. I know from Alex teaching me his wisdom that I have to use just run UI. So I'm doing that right now, as you can see in this particular terminal file. And then Goose is doing the same. But we're crossing our fingers that we get there. But while that's happening, I'm just getting another Goose window to review all of the UI files in that repository. So that way, when it's ready, when I've got the development server running, I'm going to be able to make some changes, but kind of be right away, like quickly. So.
Okay, word. I think I might have chosen a hard one for y'all, plus or for your computers, right? Like, because they're working hard to do video and run Goose locally. Okay, there's a question that someone had for you. I'm not really sure if I understand it. What is your performance mode prompt? Someone asked.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question. So the performance mode prompt was just something that I give my particular Goose for this session. I built it so we were vibe coding, but it's going to point it to a specific config. That way, I'm not always vibe coding. I just wanted to be able to say, Goose, we're getting into performance mode. It pulls up a little bit of a recipe, make sure it sees what extensions it has, make sure it has a developer one enabled, etc. So it's just like a little bit of a pre-prompting to make sure we're going to make cool stuff quickly was, I think, the main one. So.
Okay, that's fair. And while we're still waiting too, Timothy had a good point. In what ways would a child's AI prompt be different than an adult's? Maybe we should optimize for that. A little hint. Interesting. All right. And I see Alex smiling in the background. Should I go over to you, Alex? Did something positive happen? Let me see.
We'll see.
Okay.
So it's working on it now. So the chat view, I have the chat view up and running locally.
Okay.
And it's working on some updates, and it looks like it's going to back up the original copy of the UI, and then it's going to go to town working on a new version. And with any luck, it'll just show up because I have Goose's front end running locally, and it should just reload as Goose makes changes. So this is like Goose making changes to its own UI, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm doing Goose. I'm running the Goose app locally, and then I'm using the Goose CLI to work on the Goose app, the Goose UI code base. which is kind of cool.
Meta.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
I did this earlier. Well, I didn't do the kid version. I did a Barbie version, and I was like, "This
Oh,
is
really?
yeah." I was like, "This is crazy." Oh wow.
I did. I closed my. Okay, let's see. Okay, there it is. So it's working on a new CSS file that's gonna bring in some kid-friendly styles.
Okay. And someone had a question. I'm a point it to you. I know the answer, but I want to see what you will say. Is Goose resource intensive? It runs remote models, right?
Hmm. Yeah, once it's up and running, it's not that resource intensive when it's just in an idle state. The reason why it took so long for it to spin up on my computer is because I was running it in development mode for the first time in a few days, and it had to reinstall dependencies and things like that. So that whole process of getting this spun up was just that it was starting up basically in development, running from source code as opposed to the installed app.
Yeah. It's generally pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's usually fine. All right, so it's still working.
What are you imagining this might look like? I know it's probably going to come out different than you imagine, but like if
Yeah,
you're having control over it, what will you do?
we'll see. I don't know. I told it to use bright colors, a fun font, and big obvious controls.
Yeah.
I said to make it kid friendly. So I'm kind of imagining it'll look like like a yellow, like plastic red, yellow, and blue toy or something like that, right?
Ooh, okay.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope at least.
That's cute. I'm gonna give y'all more time because
Yeah.
the time it took to set up was a little, and it wouldn't be fair. So I'm gonna add 6 minutes to the clock.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Let me see, Spencer. We're coming back, Spencer.
Okay. I was gonna say you might need to put an extra 0 on that 6. We're still building, but that's okay. I think we'll get there. It'll be down to the wire, but I think we're used to that on the Goose team. You know?
Right.
So still building. I'm still kind of thinking about my prompt. I think I'll go with lighter colors, and I'm hoping to bring in some playful animation. I'm also thinking I want to serve up like a fact on the main page. You know, every time you open a new Goose window, I want there to be an inspiring fact for the youth, because
that's cute.
you got to keep those kids motivated. So
a general fact or like a Goose fact, like
maybe
just
a Goose fact. Maybe a Goose fact. There you
go. Because I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna be like, I don't know, bananas are good for. I don't know what they would be good for, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Angie, they had 12 minutes, but I looked at the clock. It was talking about there's 3 minutes left, and I'm like, oh, this isn't fair. All right. Working on your prompt.
We're getting there. We're getting close.
Yeah. 9:14. I should have given you a heads up. I didn't.
I think it's okay. I will note, I just got a new laptop, so this is like the first time it's ever doing this. So to Alex's point, when it's been a while, it takes a little bit, but
okay. Cool. Let's see if there's other stuff as well. Have you ever used the lead worker model feature by any chance, or are familiar with it?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just talk to you about it. Basically, this is a feature where you can basically set 2 different models. So let's say you want to use Claude 4 and Gemini 2.5, and maybe because Claude 4 is a little bit more expensive but performant, you use it for like bigger tasks. But if there's anything like that's like a small, quick win that you just want to get pushed out there very fast, you used like Gemini 2.5 or something like that, and that enables you to like balance cost. But I guess you wouldn't need to do that because you're using the block version. Oh, someone said here, can we use a framework to build mobile apps with Goose? Like, is this only for web technologies mainly? You can for anything, y'all. So you can use it for mobile applications. It's not only for web technologies. Right now, what they're building is an Electron app. So that's like more of a desktop, a little less web based. But you can use it for mobile technologies as well. Yeah. Let me see what other questions we got. Let's see. I'm gonna go back to Alex, see if there's any progress.
Mm,
What's up?
not
Uh-oh.
yet. Yeah, I broke something.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to figure out what. Goose failed to start. Let's see. Source name. Okay. Styles. Trying to get my kids' CSS file imported. It did all the work, and I think it will work if I can get these styles included, but it's not working yet.
I guess while you're doing that, I can talk about some. Oh, and Angie's also posting the lead worker multi-model feature. Like, I think it's really dynamic to be able to use an AI agent with more than one model. But I could also talk about vibe coding, right? So what we're doing right now is obviously vibe coding. As you can see, it can do some really amazing things, right? Like we were able to build that track runner game. We were able to build a 404 page. But sometimes when things get a little bit more complicated, you can run into a bit of issues. So things that can help you is, at least help me, is like doing small prompts. I like to do just so I'll be able to like track things for them. It makes sense because they have a limited amount of time, so they would want to do like one big prompt called one-shot prompting. But you may want to do like small little prompts and then also use version control heavily. So I often like prompt and then I git commit and push. Just that way I'd be able to roll back if an AI agent like Goose did way too much, because sometimes they get a little over eager and I'm like, wait, don't change that. I just wanted you to change one thing. So just putting out a couple of tips here and there. Let me see if what's your strategy here, Alex?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to come back up again with the new styles, and it hasn't worked yet. So I'm floundering a bit right now.
Oh no.
Spencer's probably winning.
No, I mean, I think you all are both at a similar spot. He's still trying to get Goose working. I think I might have been a little over ambitious with this prompt here, but I think it's also like, again, it's not like a reflection of performance. It's more like we're just showing the capabilities of Goose and where people can see like, oh, okay, this is a limitation or how I should maybe strategize in the future. I'll let you think and I'll go to Spencer. I know I'm talking.
I'm gonna try to get something working.
Okay. Oh.
Sorry, my dog loves barking. So
no worries.
It's still building. It's still building.
That's okay. We might reach because we're about like 6 minutes away from ending, and we might reach the end. And if so, we can just talk about like in hindsight what each what each of us could have done differently. I think there's improvements on my side and maybe y'all's that like, oh, maybe I would have tackled it this way. But Angie said when y'all get this working, we want a screenshot in Discord. So you have time after to do this and maybe even upload, maybe not the Goose one, but maybe upload the working versions to like GitHub pages and we'll share it out. Someone asked, and I'll answer this, can I configure Goose to always ensure that lint TypeScript tests are always passing before it comes back to me? Yeah, I would probably use like Goose hints or memory for this. Like I usually use Goose hints to like say like, hey, here's like the context of my project and here are the standards I have. Like I always use TypeScript, so I don't want to see you make anything in Python or C#. So that's probably a good way to go about it. And then there's the memory extension if you wanted to remember certain facts about how you work or certain facts about your project. That way, whenever you come back, there's always something going. Cool. I think it's we could just wrap. What you think? What y'all think? Let me see where Alex is.
Yeah, no, unfortunately I don't have any of my styles rendering yet. I think they're all there. Like the code is all there,
Yeah.
but there's one CSS file that makes it all work, and it hasn't successfully imported the CSS file yet. So it just looks like it normally does. But it would look a lot better if it could figure out how to get it to include the CSS file. So this is where coding comes in, right? This is where we go back and then take what Goose has done and then do some coding ourselves to get one little piece to work, and then we can keep leveraging Goose to plow forward. But a handoff between us and the model, which is the way it often goes.
The audience is invested. They're talking about wait for it.
No, I don't think anything's going to happen in the next minute, because it's trying to import this CSS file, and it doesn't have the right configuration somehow yet. Oh, it is giving me a warning though that import must precede other statements. So
we can
I could try it.
Yeah.
If we want to try.
5 more minutes. They're invested. Sometimes
That
things
sounds good.
happen at the last minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to one shot it. So I got my prompt loaded up.
Ooh.
As soon as it loads, I'm gonna hit send. And as a designer, not a developer, I usually I pray to the gods.
Yes.
I pray to Goose. I say, please, Goose, help me. Need all the help I can get.
I did get some of mine working.
Okay, let's see it.
So you can see, like it didn't I think something's still not right with the styles, because it's not showing, like my chat bubble that I sent, it's not showing the text anymore.
Yeah.
But it is doing things like that are slightly different, right? Where I'm hovering over this message and it's like zooming it.
Yeah.
And if you look, there's like that little goose on the top left that like wiggles every time I hover over it, which is pretty cool. There's like a rocket launcher icon instead of a send button now. There's a few different things going on. So I think there's some colors missing where the styles haven't done that like totally right yet, but things are starting to come together.
It's happening. You never know. Just at the last minute, Goose comes through. The demo gods come through. And Spencer, you said, unlike a developer, you just hope and see what happens. I do that too. I don't know if that's different than other developers. Timothy said, will there be more streams in the future? Yeah, I do this every 2 weeks. Like, you can go on our YouTube and see past episodes. These are pretty fun.
Super fun.
Someone wants to see menial tasks like test writing or large refactors. Okay, I could try that. I usually do small things because I'm always like, ooh, it's going to take a while. Or like just building things up will take a while, especially while sharing video. Like, I know y'all's laptops are probably taking off right now. But yeah, we can try that. Okay, let me see. We're all on the edge of our seats for this. I know y'all are too. It's cute that it did a different font, and it says Goose is thinking really hard.
Yeah, and it has like a bouncing goose when it's thinking about it. I haven't figured out a way to get it to work on the styles in the right way, where it's editing like things like the background colors and the colors of the buttons and all that. But this would just be, going back to tell it more about the project, right? Tell it where the real styles are, tell it what files it should be editing to achieve these changes. Right now, it's just kind of trying to throw different changes at it, and it's worked to update some things, but not everything, right? So
in hindsight, what is a different approach you might have taken? For me, I think I would have told you all to have Goose set up, but I don't know. In my mind, I was like, they got it running. They use it.
I think having it set up would have been good. I think looking back at my process, right, where I had little like plan files
Yeah.
I only told it about one specific file that had the chat UI in it. I think if I were doing this and I had more time to keep going on it right now, I would tell it all about how styles are done in the project, right? So I would say like, this file is the top level of the styles. And then like the Tailwind, this project uses Tailwind, right? So I would tell it like, this is the Tailwind CSS configuration. And please write all your CSS in a way that aligns with the rest of the project. And so that's where my way I do little plans for it.
Yeah.
I would give it a lot more information about how styling works in the project, so that styling could actually work the right way once it's written the code.
Yeah, no, that's a really good tip, especially for other people too. And
Mhm.
what's your thoughts on vibe coding in general? Because I know people have very controversial thoughts on that, where they're like, "Oh, it's bad," but some other, I mean, you're doing it now, so maybe you don't think it's all bad.
Mhm. I mean, I think producing software is just changing, right? Like it used to be that if you wanted to build a feature or a server or anything, you'd sit down to like a blank slate as an engineer and you'd start writing, from the building blocks all the way up. You'd write all the code yourself. But these days, like, this plan didn't work out great, right? Because I only gave it a limited amount of context. But what I find is that if you give the model the right context, enough context and the right context, it can usually do things that are pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Like, I've had it build entire servers for me that were fully functional, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole service that got launched into production at a company like Block, where it's like 95+% of the code is written with Goose. So I think it's just all about giving the model the right context.
Right.
And once you do that, you can achieve pretty incredible results.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Okay, Spencer, in the background, I see your screen doing something. Can I show it?
Of course, you can show it, Rizzo. Of course.
Okay.
So you may be thinking, what are we looking at? We are looking at the future of children-facing coding agents. All right. So that's our ICP, kids. ICP, kids, inspirational first message. Hey there, future coder. It's still doing things, but we're going to chat about it. We can choose the adventure. So maybe these are our pre-prompts. Hey, what awesome things can you help me build? Look at that. Right in. We haven't done anything to the chat section, but that's obviously an M2, as they say in the business.
Right.
So I mean, we got playful colors, we got cool animations, we've got all the Riz, as the kids say. Yeah, I don't know how you could beat this. We're changing logos with cool animations. Holy smokes! It's got hover states. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've done it.
Right. I want to use it. I like the little icon of Goose in the top with the little circle.
I'll push it up.
Nice.
don't
Show
need
it.
the other Goose we have. We need this one.
Show it to my daughter after this and see if it seems appealing to her. Target market, right?
Look at that. We're already doing. Uh-oh. I got near her, but we'll work through it. We saw it for a minute there. We saw it for a minute.
It did. Good job. Good job to both of y'all. Right. And someone said, my child for wanting this to be the default UI. I want this to be the default UI. Like, can we make that work, Spencer?
I think we can.
All right, y'all. So this was a suspenseful, I think, great Goose Off. A little bit difficult. I went really ambitious, but I think you all both met the goal. You all did a really good job with the 404 pages and the endless runner where the environment attacks you, and with redoing Goose. Any last words y'all want to say for folks who want to try out Goose, who want to know about MCP or vibe coding or anything like that?
Nope. Just try it out. Let us know how it works for you. Let us know how we can help, how we can make it better.
Awesome. And Spencer, anything?
Just break it. Just play with stuff, break stuff, try things. I think there's only one way to learn, and that is just to see what works and what doesn't. And channel your inner Goose. So.
Yeah, channel your inner goose. All right, y'all. Thanks for stopping by, and I thought thank you all too. First to you all, Alex and Spencer, for vulnerability. It's definitely scary to even just have someone watch you type. So to be vibe coding and like a lot of people are watching, that was amazing. And thank you to the audience too for tuning in, voting, being engaged, and even encouraging us to stick around. I was about to wrap things up. We wouldn't have seen the awesome creations or even learned about like some of the styling tricks that Alex gave us, because sometimes styling with AI is hard. All right, y'all. I will let you all go. See you all in 2 weeks. Bye.